What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have the Lemon Twigs. Yes, indeed, how about that? The Lemon Twigs making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-boobidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Andrew Zolot, and Andrew wanted to see me react to this song by the Lemon Twigs called These Words. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by KEXP. Okay, I've done reactions to performances on KEXP before. And the video has 89,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. The Lemon Twigs, These Words, live on KEXP. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
To know just who I am. I have enough previous worlds to know which one I'm in. These words mean nothing to my soul. These words serve only to fill up a hole.
Huh. It works. We've gone some different directions here. We've gone just, we've had straight ahead 4/4. We've had laid back in the pocket 4/4. We've had swing. And now we've gone into like a shuffle feel. Okay. I mean, look, here's the thing. As strange as it may be, and as kind of obtuse as it might be, it works. It definitely works. It's all fitting. It doesn't seem like it would. Every single time they switched, I've had to kind of sit here for a few seconds and go, is this working? Is this really happening? Actually, you know what? It works. It's happened every single time. I think that's the most impressive thing about the song, if I'm being honest. I mean, what's being played, musicianship-wise, like the chordal selection, the chordal progression, the notational selection, melodic lines. Is there anything all that impressive about what's being played there? Not really. But at the same time, it's not so much what they're playing, it's their approach that's really kind of making me go, okay, it's different, yes, but it does work. It's everything they've done has been very unexpected, and it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of refreshing. It is. It's not. How should I put this? I'm not able to sit here and go, oh, I can anticipate that. It's not predictable. It's making me wonder. I wonder what's going to happen next. It has me asking that question. So every time they switch directions so far, I've been like, seriously, I've been kind of thrown for a loop, but not in an unpleasant way. So that's good. That's really good, actually. Let's keep going here. We're almost done. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Okay. That's the end?
Discover new music at listener-powered-kexp.org.
That ending. I mean, the ending sounded good, but it did feel a little awkward. The ending on the 5th, instead of going back to the root, it was ending on the E instead of on the A. That was interesting. I mean, it's interesting. It was a little awkward, but it's not bad. Like I'm not gonna knock any points off for it. It's different. And that seems to be the motif of this entire performance. It's different. It's not what we are used to hearing. It's not the usual. So I mean, they kept it consistent. Even the ending was different. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this, honestly. Okay, let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was the Lemon Twigs with These Words. This was a request from Andrew Zolot. Okay, I thought about it, and I have a score. Now, I feel good about the score, but the score might change while I'm talking during the review. I don't know. I have a feeling it's not going to, but it might. I mean, there's a couple of points of contention that I'm kind of wavering on a little bit, both up and down. So the score may go up, it may go down, but I will say this: if it does go up or down, it's only going to go up or down by like 0.1. So either direction, we might end up 0.1 higher, we might end up 0.1 lower. I don't know, but I don't see that actually happening, but it could. So let's get to the score. Let's get to my review, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the day. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.7. Yep, 7.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, a 7.7. What does that mean? Well, a 7.7 would translate to a really good skill rating, because overall, I think this was actually a really good song. It would get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, a 7.7, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, from a musicianship standpoint, I'll say that everybody did a solid job across the board. Okay, everybody sounded really good playing what they played and how they played it. The guitar playing was clean. I liked what I heard there. Bass playing, a little on the simplistic side, but there were times where, like, when she was doing the walking bass line, that was really well done. I liked her walking bass line. But, I mean, for the most part, though, what she played, pretty much in the box, what you typically expect from bass players. It sounded good. It sounded solid. I didn't hear anything that sounded bad, so I got no complaints about anything that she did. The drumming, solid, again, across the board. Nothing I would say was, like, mind-blowing. You know, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, my God, there was that one fill that just absolutely blew my mind. No, but it was rock solid across the board. So, again, no complaint. Same thing with the piano. The piano, if I'm being honest, probably the most impressive instrument that I heard as far as what was being played. Some really nice chops being demonstrated from him. I had absolutely no issue with anything he played. And a couple of those runs that he had on the piano kind of caught my ear a little bit. And I went, oh, okay. I see where you're going with that. That sounded really nice. What really did even the songwriting, like the chordal progressions that were being played and the lines that were being played, even the unison lines were, I mean, like I said, solid. I got no problem with them. I'm just not going to sit here and blow things out of proportion and go, oh my God, that blew my mind. No, it did not. I've heard other syncopated lines. I've heard other unison lines that, you know, were far more impressive than this, but it was solid. Okay. No complaints. The thing that really kind of did this song for me more than anything else was this unpredictability when it came to feel. Starting out with this kind of, you know, charging 4/4 feel, then we went to a laid back 4/4 feel. Then we went to an uplifting 4/4 feel. And then at some point we went to a swing feel. Okay. And then from the swing feel, we went to a shuffle feel. Okay. And then we went back to the straight ahead 4/4 feel again. Okay. Yeah, just going in some directions that I didn't ever see coming. Very unpredictable. Now, here's the thing. When you do that, you do run the risk of making your song sound disjointed. Okay, where it makes you wonder, you know, is this a new song? Are we going in a new direction? They were very smart about it. They kept the chordal progressions for the most part the same. All they did was change the approach. Like shifting from the straight ahead 4 to the swing feel, switching from the swing feel to the shuffle feel, but the chordal progression never really changed. It stayed very harmonious, and I think that's how it was able to work with all of these different styles coming into play. But I never once felt like the song turned into a different song. It all flowed, and that's, to me, probably the most impressive part about the entire song was their ability to make all those different feels work in a way that made it feel conducive. So I gotta give them credit for that. That is not easy to do. And that's one of the reasons why we're up in the high 7s. I mean, without that, if we were just, okay, if they were taking this exact same song, just picked one feel, let's just say it was a straight ahead 4, all the way through the song, I think this would have still been a really good song, but we would be down somewhere on like the 7.1s, 7.2s, quite possibly down the lower, even lower, up into the high 6s, okay? But because they were able to make it so smooth, make every transition different, make every transition unpredictable. Even the ending, I had to think about the ending for a second. And I was sitting here going, is that really how they're going to end this? Unpredictably. Well, the entire motif of the song was unpredictability. So why not? Why not have that unpredictable ending that felt a little awkward? It still fits. It still works. It's just a little out of the comfort zone, but it still made sense. So at the end of the day, looking at the song as a whole, with all those different changes, and yet still within the confines of the song, you gotta give them credit for that. You do. You absolutely do. So that's how I'm giving them that 7.7. I feel good about that score. And after saying everything I said, I'm sticking with that 7.7. Makes sense. So yeah, 7.7. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.7, which is a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I've spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.